0864. Station's your final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Welcome to Duck Insider.
Man, it feels great to be a Duck. Give it to me, baby. My house. I'm taking it there.
Their competitors, they'll want to put the O on.
Three, got it!
We're going to compete to a standard every day.
The Oregon standard.
Rebound, up and in! 1 point more to go!
The opportunity to play, put Oregon on your chest, should mean a great deal to you.
Unloads on one into left field, back toward the wall. Gone!
This program is staged to compete and to win championships.
Oregon wins!
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield. Presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, let's talk Oregon athletics.
It's good to be back on a Friday, game day eve. I'm happy to report that Mike Jorgensen is back in the chair that he belongs. He's comfortable. He is not in the really
I love
epic,
the lighting, though. I wanted
moody lighting.
I wanted the lighting over there.
And over there,
if he beat me, yeah. See,
it's
there
Jordan
you
Brenner,
go,
folks. It's what we've officially called the Alex Stimson producer chair, but Alex isn't here. And so we just decided to have Jordan do picks from there. You know, guys, we had the old Mac Court chair sitting next to Jorgie has been set up to have a fourth person on forever, and we've just abandoned that chair apparently because we like the mood lighting over here. I don't know. Yeah, I mean he could, but Jorgie's really got it occupied nicely with a binder, notes and things of that nature.
We can, hey, Jordan, you want to switch over here?
No, I think the binder takes precedent. I think this is probably right.
It kind of feels like the dark side over there, and
It
yet you
does.
can also kind of get into that role
Right.
every once in a while. Where you can,
Ooh, the dark side.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
You know
a side
who,
of you. I don't
Whatever
know.
will help me with my picks this week. I mean,
yeah, right. That's usually it.
Yeah, we have picks to make. We have a big top 25 matchup to preview, guys. It's a 12:30 kickoff on Fox. We'll be on the air with a 10:30 pregame show. Junior Adams going to be on the pregame show. Really fun catching up with the Oregon and wide receivers coach. In addition to Jackson LeDuc, you talked to him yesterday.
Yeah, what a great young man from sort of Reno, Nevada. Lived in Sparks. Wasn't born there, but a great family kid again. And just very much like our Wednesday night guest, Casey Rogers.
Yeah, Casey Rogers was phenomenal. If you missed that on the Oregon Football Coaches Show, subscribe to the OSN podcast, or you can go back on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, watch it there. And let's see, who else we got? There was somebody else on the pregame show. I'll remember later on.
Coaches, a couple of coaches.
Coach Lanning will be on.
Yeah, got him.
Yeah, and Bo Nix.
Oh, Bo Nix.
Yeah, quarterback Bo Nix on the pregame show coming
look
up.
forward to that.
With a 10:30 start time for the pregame. So we got picks to make. We got a big BYU game to preview, guys. This is a big one. We know it. If you haven't gotten your tickets, I can't believe I'm saying this. I think there's still some tickets available.
And even if you are not a football fan, I would want to be in that stadium to watch the flyover of Nick Reed.
I was thinking about that on the way over
I mean,
here.
that alone is going to boil your blood and make you leave just feeling great about yourself.
Yeah, so if you missed it on the coaches show, Nick Reed, former Duck defensive lineman, is going to be conducting the flyover and not just coordinating like he did at the Rose Bowl. This is going to be, he is the pilot, one of the two, for the flyover, which will be right after the national anthem, about 12 minutes and 45 seconds before kickoff. That's accurate.
No, he
about
knows
how much
12 minutes and 45 seconds before kickoff.
before kickoff.
Yeah.
Which is at
12:36.
Yeah. Okay. Not 12:30. So just so people don't.
12:36.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. That's good. That's good thinking. So yeah, it's gonna be a really, really fun game. Top 25 guys. Jorgie, you always do This Week in Football History. Mm-hmm. Do you know which game you're doing tomorrow on the pregame show?
I do, which is the one from 1990.
Okay, good.
Yes. Yeah.
we were hoping that
we were
was
hoping that was
Yeah,
the one.
yeah.
Jerry and I were talking about it in the booth today.
Yeah, no, I mean it's. I've gone back through it two or three times, and it's amazing when you look back at that game in 1990. And the names obviously are always fun to see, the different types of names, but what it was as opposed to the year before in Provo, Utah, when Musgrave and Detmer got together, and the amount of bogus flags and penalties that happened. And Oregon had their chances in that game, so don't get me wrong. I'll touch on that tomorrow too. They had chances.
I'm going to get you wrong.
In that 45-41 loss, that was just wild. Both quarterbacks combined for almost 1,000 yards passing, which was an NCAA record at the time. But to come here the next year and have this place not expanded like it is right now, and yet just blow the top off and jump on Stanford type. Detmer was never able to really get back. They picked him off 5 times. I'm giving away a lot of different things here, but it's fun going back and watching the highlights, because there's actually video highlights. You can go, oh, I remember that. Well, I remember that. I remember that. Pretty special. That was pretty neat.
Wasn't there a belly bump in there somewhere too?
Yeah, little Marcus Woods. Yeah.
So this is This Week in Football History, brought to you by our friends at the Slocum
We're done.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Hey, they weren't bogus flags. Well, yeah, they were bogus flags, because
Yeah.
it was admitted later on that they probably were mistakes. And we digress. Let's go.
Right. Yeah. So it's a big game coming up tomorrow, guys. Jorgie, we always start a Friday with some game keys. I think it's so interesting. You get one end of the spectrum in the Georgia game. Then you get another end of the spectrum in the Eastern Washington game. I feel like this is kind of going to be the game that's in the middle of the spectrum for the Ducks. What do you think?
Well, I guess I feel like it's for the Ducks. Yeah, I do. But I think it's closer to the Georgia spectrum that they're going to be playing against is the thing about it. I think it's BYU is very physical. They're athletic. They got NFL talent in some key positions. It's going to be a tough matchup. But the thing that I really look forward to, and what I loved about what this team did last week, regardless of the opponent, start fast defensively, start fast offensively, get on track, get things going, have really good balance. You got to be able to run it to throw it. They're going to have to be able to do that again this week and stop the run defensively, so that you force BYU to be one-dimensional. It's the same keys to the game to me, but it's a team that's much closer to Georgia than they are to Eastern Washington.
For sure. Real quick, before Jerry's game keys, what color do we wear? It is a wear black game. They swapped it with Eastern Washington, the yellow and black, so wear black.
Match BYU's physicality. Okay, you got to come out. You got to be as physical as they are. You have to be as mature and mistake-free as they are. Don't help them beat yourself. All right. I think if Oregon is as physical as they want to play, then they're going to match up really well with BYU. A lot of categories are the same, very close. It's going to be a very physical ball game, and I hope an error-free ball game, because if it is, it's an up in the air who's going to win this one.
And an atmosphere like they probably just had in Provo last week with Baylor.
Oh, no doubt.
Which I can't wait for.
Yeah.
Kalani Sitake, we'll hear from him on the pregame show coming up as well. The head coach for BYU, he said, hey, I've been in that environment at Autzen, and it's a difference maker. He said that. It wasn't even asked about the atmosphere. He brought that up on his own in his press conference this week. Yeah. Jordan Brenner in the mood lighting. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm really thinking about that environment as well.
I just got to say, I'm sorry. The hat really completes
it does,
the
doesn't
lighting.
it?
Look at that hat hair right there.
The hat really completes the lighting ensemble. It's like it is the dark side over here.
It is.
Anyway.
Yeah, environment's going to be a real key. I think it threw Baylor last week. I think BYU understands that. Now they're going to be on the other side of it, right? Going into a stadium like Autzen feels like the first-ranked big-time matchup at Autzen in a few seasons. I think fans are fired up for that. It's going to be a real difference. I mean, Coach Lanning led his Monday press conference with that point, that he thinks the fans can make a difference, will be a difference in this football game. I'm so excited to see what it feels like, what it sounds like tomorrow at Autzen Stadium.
I know that it's easy for us to say that it's a difference maker, but it is a difference maker. We know
sure
that.
It is.
Yeah. So win the trenches, right, Jorg?
Yeah. I mean, you win the trenches, you run it, you throw it, and you stop the run. I mean, again, like that first game that I was looking so much forward to, having the trenches go against each other, and Oregon ended up on the wrong end of it, and frankly Georgia went outside anyway. They didn't go to the trenches offensively against Oregon, but this one's just going to be one of those ones. I think Kalani Sitake likes to play football that way. Wants to establish a certain toughness to that team that already is established, but to keep it going on a stage in which they, potentially are as good as anybody in the Pac-12 conference. They've proven it last year when they're 5-0. I think they're as good as anybody this year in this league. So you're playing top-level competition. You're playing a team that just beat the Big 12, the defending Big 12 champion. That's going to be joining the Big 12 next year. So, again, everybody knows BYU is a good team, but, yeah, it's going to be a physical game. I can't wait.
Here's a comparison. Stetson Bennett and Jaron Hall, okay? Two very much alike. I mean, Stetson Bennett had control of the game, didn't make mistakes, extended plays, kept away from the sacks, and Jaron Hall can do the same thing. He's that kind of a player.
Yeah, and the other thing I look at, too, is, does BYU get Puka Nacua back?
Right.
Do they get some receivers that they didn't have the previous week against Baylor? They still beat Baylor. Some mistakes by the kickers and the special teams on both teams at the end of that game. BYU prevailed, but they did it without two key receivers. Nacua, big play guy last year. I mean, not a ton of catches, but a lot of yards, and the average per catch was huge. And he's a guy that, transferred from Washington. Everybody wanted before he went to Washington. So, again, they've got deep threats. They got good guys out of the backfield. It'll be interesting to see if they get some people back.
Nacua has 3 catches this year. 2 of them are for touchdowns. Like that guy can flip a football game. So he's going to be a real key if he can go tomorrow. And let's not forget Gunnar Romney. He's their number 2 receiver. He didn't play last week either. That's just the type of quarterback that Jaron Hall is. There are writers out there, few of them, but some have him as a top 15 pick in the NFL draft. He's 24. He's like 2 weeks younger than Justin Herbert, who we saw on Thursday Night Football. We're looking at a position for BYU that has a lot of experience, that was seasoned by Zach Wilson, sat behind him. He's an NFL quarterback for 2 years. Real strength for BYU. 2 experienced quarterbacks, I'll add, though, in this football game.
And he's 34 years old.
Okay,
he's not.
No, okay.
Mike Jorgensen's with us, Jerry Allen, Jordan Brenner. I'm Joey Mack. When we come back, a few more keys to the game. We're going to make some picks, guys. And we're also going to revisit some fun images from last week and in the lead up to this game. That's next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
This is an important message from the Mine Safety and Health Administration. Mining fatalities, accidents, and injuries are preventable. Taking a minute to approach your task safely can protect you and your fellow miners from injury and death. Staying alert and focused can keep you safe. Do it safe. Do it right. Whether buckling a seatbelt or securing equipment, these quick safety measures can prevent injuries and fatalities. Take time. Save lives. For more resources, visit MSHA.gov.
Farming is dangerous. There's dangers all around us.
We go through safety training and try and do these things to make sure accidents don't happen.
You don't want to hit a gas pipe because that's your life. The other part of it is if you hit certain things, you're liable for it.
Farm Safe 811 starts with you. Always call 811 and wait for any underground lines to be marked.
Always keep safety in the back of your mind. Just stay humble.
For more information, go to farmsafe811.org.
Man, it's a good day in the studio because Alex Stimson and Brandon Reichelt are here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey!
They're setting up for one Hall of Fame induction ceremony tonight. They've got, of course, Autzen Stadium to get ready for tomorrow. What else is going on, boys? Anything? Yeah, pretty big game. That's what
There is so much talent in this room right now.
Yeah, it's all sitting in your chair. That's it. That's the only spot. No offense, guys. No offense.
None taken.
Yeah, so we had Jordan sitting over in Alex's desk, and then Alex came back in, and I was like, we can't do this. Use the headset that actually has good lighting. Look, now Jordan has his own seat. Look at this. Look at this.
Still can't see his eyes.
Still can't see his eyes. It was a hat day, huh?
It was a hat day today. Woke up, and
it was a hat day.
It was all over the place.
Yeah. Well, so last week, before we make our picks, brought to you by Sylvan Ridge Winery, last week, Jordan had maybe the most important job on the field. I'm not exaggerating. If you don't have somebody telling you when a commercial break ends, I mean, everything breaks loose. I really appreciate the form.
Not everybody can do this job, right? Yeah. This is harder than what you guys do throughout the game. You guys are just talking about whatever. Who cares? You got to be athletic. You have to have posture.
Look at the legs.
By the way, I'm talking to the officials. I'm talking to the officials throughout the game, and I'm, inserting some opinions about certain calls.
All right,
the missed offensive.
Right. My
PI.
dog.
You did?
My dog could do that. And I don't even have a dog.
So you gave him some business down there on the field when you were down there?
I'm holding the clock, but I'm saying, hey, did you not see the pick on Bennett Williams in the end zone there? Like, Coach Lanning's upset about 14 points. I was upset about 14 points. The score was 70-7.
You were at the other end, though. How did you see that? Or did you just hear us complain?
There was some banter on the officials move around a little bit.
We'll do this week's picks next week because we're not going to have time to do them this
That'd
week.
That'd be fun to be down there to hear all that.
Yeah. So sometimes, maybe I shouldn't say this on the air. Oh, well. Sometimes I just take my one headset off and I'll just listen to what the chain gang and the officials are talking about.
Oh, sure.
It's great.
Yeah.
You learn a lot down there.
I'll bet.
And sometimes I'll ask the officials, like, hey, what the heck happened there? And they'll tell me. It's actually, honestly, it's really fun.
No, you're
really fun.
You're close to the action.
Yeah, you'd love it. So, in any case, Jordan, for those of you that didn't see the image, and maybe you saw him at Autzen Stadium, he was the one in charge of the timeout clock last week, and well done.
Thank you.
Bravo.
No, I'm
well
obviously kidding. It was the best job in the world to be at midfield in the middle of shout.
That's true.
That energy. Yeah. That's the best seat in the house. I'll remember that feeling forever.
That's cool. That's really cool. Also, earlier today, we were setting up at Autzen Stadium, and Jerry Allen channeled his wisdom. Just a really amazing amount of wisdom. So Jerry was battling hiccups, and
what
he
is
said,
with today's show?
He said, "I just have to lay down." Yeah, he said, "I just have to lay down for 30 seconds." So what does he do? He just lays down at the play-by-play broadcast location, and I was sitting up on the top row setting
up. And they went away.
And and they went away.
Get rid of the hiccups. Guaranteed 30 seconds.
I had to take a picture, though, from this perspective, and I was amazed that they went away.
Glad you didn't drop your camera.
Might have lost a tooth. Anyway.
That's the next meme, by the way. The next famous meme. There's going to be some good stuff from that.
Okay.
I'm going to leave and get lunch if you guys are going to keep picking on each other.
I thought you already got lunch.
Oh, no, that's right. You haven't eaten it yet.
Okay, it is a Friday edition of Duck Insider. You've heard our game keys. Thanks for bearing with us and having a little bit of fun. This is my first day back, actually, hosting the show after my hiatus. So thank you to Jordan for letting me have some time with my new son.
By the way, the reason he's delaying the inevitable is because he's behind us. He had a bad week last week.
I didn't have a bad week. I think Fresno State had a bad last play.
Okay.
If
I
I'm
think
being
Jonathan
honest.
Smith had a particularly good last play.
I think he did too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for those of us that picked Fresno State. What a game, though, huh? That was a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
So last week, really nice week from Jerry and Jorgie, both going 9-1. Well done, boys.
Wow.
And then I went 8-2.
Not bad.
No, that wasn't bad.
Jordan went 7-3.
That's okay.
The coin went 8-2.
Really?
Yeah.
The coin beat you. The coin beat Jordan.
The coin beat him.
You know, I mean, 7-3. If you went 7-3 all season long, you would win almost every year because 70% usually.
I think our record of. I'd have to look.
Okay,
Our record.
don't do it.
We have like a couple years where someone's been better than 70%. It's very rare.
I think we need to put a quarter in this chair, and I need to go back there in the corner.
Yeah, well, might work out. Jerry's on coin flip duty again. So what that means is Jerry's still picking first. Now Jorgie's picking second. I will pick third. The coin's going to pick fourth, and Jordan with a 4-game deficit is going to pick last. Boy, this is the week.
The comeback's going to be historic.
It's really early.
It's really early. Really early. The early game on Saturday. Pac-12 Network, South Alabama 2-0 visits UCLA 2-0. Jerry, you found your notes.
Yeah, I did find my notes. This is a game. It's sort of an interesting game. I mean, UCLA is a heavy favorite in this, more than 2 touchdowns. The Bruins ran the ball really well last week. They lead Pac-12 in both rushing offense and rushing defense. So UCLA is coming on as, to me, more of a team to worry about than USC. We'll see. But I just think South Alabama, they got a lot of transfers in, but they still don't have the talent level that UCLA does. So, and they're in the Rose Bowl, and the place will be packed. Oh, that's right. It's never packed in the Rose Bowl.
When was the last time it was packed?
I'm going to go with UCLA. UCLA is going to win this game easily.
Legitimately, was the last time the Rose Bowl packed is the 2020 Rose Bowl when Oregon was playing?
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah.
It could have been a USC UCLA game, but
the Ohio State-Utah game was
that had to be a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That had to be
yeah.
a good one.
During a Rose Bowl, a real Rose Bowl.
I saw that maybe, too many green and yellow lenses. Georgie?
UCLA, no discussion.
Okay. Yeah, UCLA.
I think it could be a little bit of a look ahead. I think the Huskies come to town the following week. Am I right about that? And I think I'm right about that. Anyway, that's going to be a big game. That'll be UCLA's first test of the season. And South Alabama is not terrible. I do think UCLA wins this one, though.
UCLA is at Colorado next week.
Okay.
Then at home against Washington.
So that'll never mind. Scratch all that. Colorado could be the look-ahead game.
I would like to file a violation on Jordan Brenner. He actually picked out of order. The coin had not picked yet.
Wow.
Nor had you.
That's right. So thank you,
It just
Scott.
felt like it was supposed to go this way, though, didn't it?
Thank you for throwing the flag on that
It just
play.
felt like it should flow on through.
Yeah, I also am taking UCLA. Could the coin?
Are we to the coin yet?
Yeah, we're to the coin.
Okay. It is tails.
Road team. Hey, the comeback's on.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no chance.
Right.
All right.
All right. The next game on the schedule is on NBC. Cal visits Notre Dame, guys. Notre Dame, the 0-2 Notre Dame team. Preseason top 5. Out of the top 25, they're 0-2. They are an 11-point favorite in what figures to be a low-scoring game against the Cal Bears, who are 2-0.
Yeah. To me, this is not an easy pick. And Notre Dame, I think, is the favorite in this one by, 12, 11 points now. New starting quarterback, Drew Payne, I think he's going to get the start. So that could be interesting. But Notre Dame's got some issues, and I'm not sure. I don't know if they're long-term or not. I don't know if Cal is good enough to go on the road to Notre Dame. But the way Notre Dame's been playing, I wouldn't be surprised. So I'm actually going to pick Notre Dame.
You
thought I was going to give you an opening, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I was hoping you'd pick Cal. But I just think Notre Dame overall is a better team. And Cal struggled in its first couple of games. I mean, it defeated UC Davis and then struggled against a very mediocre to below average UNLV team at home. Had to kind of hold on at the end. Going on the road to Notre Dame, the Irish are going to play better. They just are. And, Marshall's not a bad team. I'll tell you that right now. And Ohio State is a better team than Marshall is. And so Notre Dame, I think it was a little overhyped this year, but I still think they're good enough to win at home and beat Cal, so I'm taking the Irish.
Oh.
I want to pick Cal so bad. If this one was at Cal, I'm picking Cal. I don't think Cal can score enough to beat them. They haven't shown that. They've been grinded out games with Cal so far. I got to take Notre Dame, but I would really love to pick Cal. Coin?
All right. Coin says tails.
Cal. The comeback is on, Brenner.
Wow. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to pick Cal against Notre Dame. My dad went to Cal. My uncle went to Cal. My sister went to Cal. I can't get myself there. I agree. If it was at Memorial Stadium and people are hiking up the hill to get there, I don't know. It's too much. I'll go Notre Dame. I can't fall behind even more. I really want to.
Now he knows what it feels like. You start thinking about the coin, and you're thinking about everybody else and what they're doing.
Yep. Yeah, I get it. But we talk about the Pac-12. We'll talk about this a little bit on the pregame show tomorrow. But what a win that would be for the Pac-12.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. Even if Notre Dame ends up going 0-12, which they won't, but that would be a huge win. Of course, the next game is the 12:30 Fox game, BYU and Oregon, the top 25 matchup. We are calling it. Obviously, we won't pick it. We all know who we would pick anyway. 12:30 also on ESPN2. 0-2 Colorado visits Minnesota. Minnesota's a big favorite.
Yeah, well, Minnesota leads the FBS in both total offense and total defense. Colorado's 0-2. Minnesota's hosting. There's every reason in the world to pick Minnesota, so I'm picking Minnesota.
Yeah, here too. I mean, it's just Minnesota's a good team. Colorado's not.
Yeah.
And right now going on the road is not the remedy that the mighty Buffalo needs, so I'm taking Minnesota.
I feel like Minnesota, after winning this game, should be a top 25 team. I think that they've shown that. They've been that good. They'll be 3-0. I like Minnesota.
Okay. Coin? Oh, that wasn't a flip. That was a
tumble.
Yeah. It is heads.
Heads. That's the home team. Good pick in Minnesota.
Make it 5 for 5. Go Gophers.
Yeah, that's right. All right, we're going to get a quick timeout. When we come back, we've got all the afternoon games to pick. It is our weekly pick segment brought to you by Sylvan Ridge Winery. I said a case of wine was at stake. I didn't clear that with anybody. But
now it's a glass.
I think that we can say a case of wine is at stake for the picks, right? Will it into existence on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, our all-inclusive event pricing allows us to take care of all of the details while you enjoy your event. Our wedding garden, expansive grounds, ballroom, and meeting rooms can accommodate any size event and come complete with full catering and service staff. From weddings to business and social events, Shadow Hills offers the benefits of a resort atmosphere and the peace of a country setting just minutes from downtown Eugene. For more details, call us today or go to shadowhillsevents.com.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic, safe, effective, even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
Back inside the Country Financial Studio, it is Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. I'm really happy. Jordan discovered my basketball stress ball, and I can tell that Jordan has had a habit of using it because it's really worn out now in the last month.
Got greasy food
Less
stains
inflated.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier to squeeze, and there's like some, like the black paint that where the seams of the ball, they're coming apart.
You can go through this theory, or you could just ask me about it.
Did you use it?
Yeah, not really as a stress ball. I have a long history of indoor basketball. I grew up with it.
Oh.
And, I was just dribbling around the studio before the show.
Isn't most basketball played indoors?
Most, but not all.
Mini hoops.
Ah, yes.
Did you grow up with a mini hoop?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. We need one.
A Nerf hoop.
A normal office pastime. And if you don't have the nice hoop, well, then you just crumple up some paper and throw it into the trash can.
Not as good at that.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I'm glad that you found it. Cause
Scott, do you have a Nerf ball? There you go.
Good hands.
That's not really a Nerf ball. A Nerf ball's like
I
foam
honestly
rubber.
don't know where that one came from.
But did you see that catch? Okay.
Nicely done. Well done. Okay, next up as we continue with our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks, 2 p.m., Pac-12 Network. Colorado State 0-2 at Washington State 2-0. Supposed to be 64 degrees at kickoff in Pullman.
These two teams have only played once previously. Did you realize that?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, Colorado State won the only previous meeting in 2013. I would have thought they would have played
I agree.
More games together. Washington State's win last week was phenomenal. But when you look at the numbers in that ball game, puzzling. How they won that game is amazing, but they found a way. And that tells me that Washington State is a gritty, gutsy team that's going to find a way. And so I think against Colorado State they do it, so I'm going to pick the Cougars.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, takeaways were a big part of that Wisconsin win.
Yep.
Takeaways were huge, and but it was nonetheless great win for that program, for this league, going on the road to beat Wisconsin. Washington State's defense is really, really good. Yeah. I think Colorado State is struggling right now a little bit. They played tough non-conference opponents, and they're going to play another one in Washington State. And Washington State and the Cougars are just biting at the bit to get to 3-0 with Oregon coming to town. So there's no way they lose this game. There's no way they look ahead, even though they will look ahead, because they're so hungry to win this one to get to Oregon, I believe, and be 3-0.
Gosh, I would love, from the Oregon perspective, for Colorado State to give them a good game, right? We know the Ducks are going to have a tough one this weekend, top 25 battle.
And they might.
They might.
Idaho did.
Yeah, that's right. And isn't that – so I was just going to say, you go from Idaho – to Wisconsin. And so I think it's easy for all of us that aren't around Washington State every day to say, well, maybe they were looking ahead to Wisconsin in the Idaho game. Well, maybe they're going to look ahead to Oregon in the Colorado State game. We'll see.
Might.
I think their defense is better than I thought they would be. And, guys, Ward has put up good numbers, quarterback. 43 of 69. He's got 4 touchdowns. I think he's been pretty efficient, wouldn't you say, Jorgie? I think Washington State wins big. I hope that Colorado State proves me wrong, and it makes it a little tougher before the Ducks head to Martin Stadium next week.
Yeah, make them play the entire game, 4 quarters. Yeah. All the way. All right, the coin is tails. Wow. Man, the coin is really – well, I'm not going to say
opportunity.
Not going to say anything. Yeah.
I really wish the takeaway exiting week 2 was more, hey, the Pac-12 had a good week. I didn't see a lot of that. It was a lot of Sunbelt, and congratulations to those teams for pulling off some big upsets. But the Cougars going to Camp Randall doing something like that was pretty spectacular. And I think they'll be all geared up and undefeated for when the Ducks fly up north next week.
It was kind of funny, by the way, listening to that game just real quick early on about the Wisconsin announcers on a radio station I was listening to is talking about the speed of Washington State compared to Wisconsin. The Wisconsin announcers were just raving about they've not seen speed like this before. And so, again, it was just that team speed that was big. And interesting and yet not surprising with the Big Ten to have the big, get off the bus, look wonderful. But then when all of a sudden the game speeds up out there, it changes, and it did. So, anyhow.
No kidding. The next game on the schedule, the 4:30 game on ABC, Michigan State visits Washington. Guys, iMotion, we picked this one last.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I can do that. Okay, I'll go along with that.
We're going to pick Michigan State and Washington last. I saw a couple people in the comments already saying, boy, that'd be another big opportunity for the Pac-12 to get a win. I agree. 5 o'clock, Pac-12 Network, Montana State 2-0, Oregon State 2-0.
First meeting ever between these two schools.
That's hard
This
to believe, too.
Interesting, matchups this week. Montana State won 12 games in 2021 before losing the FCS title game. In other words, it's a really good program.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't look to see how many they lost or returned or transfers, but Montana State's a good program. They're a tough out. Remind me a lot of Eastern Washington, the teams that they used to come in and just beat up on people. Oregon State is surprising though. They're winning games the right way. I mean, on the road at Fresno State is not easy. So at home, I'm gonna go with the Beavers. Actually, it's not at home, but it's sort of a home game. It's like going to Atlanta, I guess.
Yeah, it was interesting. I didn't notice that when the initial schedule came out a few months ago. I didn't notice that it was at Providence Park. I just saw that this morning, and I thought, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. But Beavers in this one.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, the Beavers' victory over Fresno State last week gives me a reason to pick them again this week. So I'm picking them this week because they won last week, and I'll probably be picking them next week against USC because they'll win this week. And if they lose, I'll never pick them again. 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 I think
or you'll keep picking them.
Yeah.
If they lose, I'll never pick them again. But
I think Oregon State wins big.
All right, coin is going heads.
Oregon State.
Give me the Beavs, but I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, I like that. That was good. You really channeled your inner Mike Jorgensen.
That used to be the Jorgie comment.
Yeah.
That used to be the Jorgie comment.
Can I borrow that sometime?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think he borrowed it from you.
Yeah, honestly.
All right, Sylvan Ridge Winery picks continue. It's Duck Insider presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Quick timeout, more picks coming on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
This is Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Unused prescription opioid pain medicines can spell trouble. They can spell risk if taken by someone they weren't prescribed for, harm if accidentally taken by a child or pet, or overdose if they're not used as directed. Safely dispose of opioids before they can hurt your family. Find a drug take-back option such as medicine drop boxes. You may find these in your community at local pharmacies or police stations. Visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack back with you in the Country Financial Studio. Jerry Allen's here. Mike Jorgensen is here. Jordan Brenner's here. Brandon Reichelt's here working on something for tomorrow. Ryan Milano's here. Scott Phillips is here. I didn't think we could fit this many people in the studio.
Gang's all here.
Yeah. We've done it in the Country Financial Studio. Sylvan Ridge Winery picks continue. So far, guys, we've all been really boring. Yeah. We've had the exact same picks. Let's see if that changes. 7 o'clock on ESPN2, a game that I'm excited to watch. San Diego State visits Utah. I want to see if Utah keeps it rolling after – I think they're kicking themselves after that loss in the Swamp.
Yeah, but just remember this. San Diego State's got Utah's number, all right? San Diego State beat Utah last year when Utah was really good in triple overtime. They don't have a prayer this year. Utah all the way.
Yeah, I think Utah, solely based on what happened last year, is going to just rip them apart in Salt Lake City. So I'm taking Utah big in this one.
Yeah, that 33-31 game last year.
Shocker.
Yeah, it was. And Utah was really good. I agree. I think that Utah's going to dominate. I think San Diego State, guys, I said it heading into the year with that Arizona game. I feel like San Diego State is not as good as people thought. They've got stuff going on. Utah wins big.
The coin says, oops, almost dropped it. Hat. The hat means heads.
Heads, home team.
That was an interesting game last year where Utah really outplayed San Diego State in the second half. That's the Cam Rising origin story. That's when he took over as the starter, lit up San Diego State, was heroic just to get it to overtime, and they lost. Payback this year for sure. I think Utah, I agree with you. They're going to beat them big.
We're really boring. Fresno State, USC on Fox. 1-1 Fresno State now.
Fun game.
That's why I'm down 1 in picks. Number 7, USC. Number 7, USC. They're at 2-0. They're at home. Jerry?
Washington transferred Jake Haener 300-yard passing games for Fresno State. They can sling the ball around. And I think USC's defense is a little bit suspect. I don't know how much. So I think Fresno State has a chance to keep it closer than people would think. But I still think USC's offense is way too much for Fresno State and will just outscore them. So I'm going with the Trojans.
Too much offensive firepower. I agree with you, Jerry. I just think that USC's got too many weapons. And Fresno State will score, but they're not going to score 40, which is what they're going to need to at least stay in this one. I just think USC, too much offensive firepower.
Oh, there's a glimmer of hope for the rest of us.
I honestly
hope.
I honestly think that this game's going to be like 45-40. Like, I think there's going to be points on the board. Could very easily be a shootout. You never know what happens in a shootout. I got to take USC because I think it's the smart pick, but I feel like Fresno State's always a tough team. I think USC is going to win. Not happy about it.
Me either. Oh, coin. Sorry, coin.
I was giving him a chance to step on it
good.
again, and he didn't take it. He did a good job. Heads. That would be the home team, USC.
Jeff Tedford loves going to USC and pulling off some big upsets. He's got a history of that back to his days at Cal. Fresno State loves Los Angeles. They went to the Rose Bowl last year and won a magical game. But I can't fall further behind.
This is your chance!
The Bulldogs, I picked them last week.
Yeah, and it didn't work for either
It didn't
of
work
us.
out. And they were at home, so I can't be an idiot. I'm taking the Trojans.
You wouldn't have been an
If I had a
idiot.
3-game lead on you guys,
I
I'd be
really-
all over Cal. I'd be all over Fresno State this week. That's not the case.
That's a smart.
It's a tough position to be in when you're.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way I've felt with these guys the last 2 or 3 years. It's like, okay, just stay within 2 or 3 and then try to make a move the last couple of weeks. That's all I was doing all the time.
Right. I'm just waiting for my late season push. It's too early to take chances.
Late season pushes are important.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, late season pushes are important. So USC across the board. God, boring week. 8 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. North Dakota State visits Arizona. Fascinated by this game.
Are we going to Eastern Michigan and Arizona State?
Yeah.
Oh, that's later. Okay.
That game's at 8 o'clock on
Okay,
Pac-12
so you're
Network.
going to go in order. North Dakota. So I wasn't ready for this.
Would you like to motion to pick this one next?
No. Arizona's fine. I'm going to go with Arizona. It's at Arizona. They're 1-1. I mean, North Dakota State's a good football program. I get it. But they've won 9 of the last 11 FCS championships. That's a great program. So here's your opportunities
Yeah, you're right.
to jump over me. I'm going to go with Arizona, though.
6 consecutive over FBS teams. Now, Iowa was the last one a while ago. They didn't come to Oregon the year that they were supposed to.
Yep.
That might not have been a bad thing. As good as they are, sometimes. That was, I think, the same year Oregon was supposed to get, Ohio State and North Dakota State, was it? Was that the year that we had Justin Fields come to town and then North Dakota State after that?
That's right.
And they played against each other last week, which is pretty amazing.
Yep.
Anytime teams that come to town with that good a quarterback are always dangerous. I don't care who they're playing. North Dakota State, traditional I formation, love to run the ball at you. I don't know how good Arizona is defensively against the run. They've not been great, but it was tough to figure that out. Now last week when they played Mississippi State, who just threw it all over the place. And Arizona ran for less than 50 yards last week against Mississippi State. And one of the runs, I think, was Michael Wiley for 35, 40 yards in the first quarter. So, boy, I'll tell you. I mean, I think that Arizona is a better team this year, but I don't know if they're the best team on the field. I'm taking North Dakota State. Yeah. Go Bison.
Man, I am too.
And I hate doing that. I hate doing that with the Pac-12 team with Dave
it feels
Hickey
to
and
even stretch the lead even more. I just love this.
North Dakota State. So traditionally, a lot of odds makers won't have a spread for these kinds of games where it's an FBS versus FCS team. And this is a game why, right? It's tough to predict. There's no common opponents. I get it. I think North Dakota State is they're just built to win a game like this, right? Arizona sitting at 1-1, guys. I feel like North Dakota State wins the game. They just always seem to win these games. I'm going North Dakota State. I mean, Arizona got a good win against an overrated San Diego State team, in my opinion, and then Mississippi State just had their way with them. I think North Dakota State beats them by a touchdown.
North Dakota State, by the way, first ever meeting with a Pac-12 school, which again is
would have been us.
Yeah, would have been. It would have been Oregon.
That's right.
Two brothers playing against each other for Arizona and North Dakota State too. Yeah, really kind of a lot of sidebar stories on this one. Okay, tails. Whoa.
Let's go Bison.
The coin is going against me.
It's a tough one. To me, it was tougher than the Michigan State take.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm following in the footsteps of the reigning champion. The coin is hot. Give me I guess the coin took North Dakota State.
Yeah.
Give me Arizona.
There you go. All right, good job.
I'm okay with that. Okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no, it's a toss up. It really is.
Yeah, that's okay. Eastern Michigan, Arizona State, 8:00, Pac-12 Network.
Last week against Louisiana, 0 points allowed in the first half. 49 given up in the second half, though. It's all bets are off. I'm going to go with Arizona State in this. I'm just going to back the Pac. I just don't think Eastern Michigan is a Pac-12 school.
Yeah, here too.
Yeah, ASU.
Oh, the coin. And the coin says heads, home team, Arizona State.
Eastern Michigan going to Tempe?
Yeah.
They were up big, or they were playing well, and then there was like a weird weather delay in their game last week, and then they got raced in the second half. But I don't know. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be a bad look for Arizona State, but it'll be a win.
Okay. For Arizona State.
Yeah.
Okay. We got one game left. I think it's time to take a timeout and then come back and see if things get interesting. Guys, once again, the Arizona pick is going to determine who wins this week. That didn't go well for me last week or the week before. Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, our all-inclusive event pricing allows us to take care of all of the details while you enjoy your event. Our wedding garden, expansive grounds, ballroom, and meeting rooms can accommodate any size event and come complete with full catering and service staff. From weddings to business and social events, Shadow Hills offers the benefits of a resort atmosphere and the peace of a country setting just minutes from downtown Eugene. For more details, call us today or go to shadowhillsevents.com.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. With honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be shared with friends or family. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. We all make choices about alcohol, Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path, because when you talk, they hear you. Learn more at underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
We are back inside the Country Financial Studio. It's Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Hey, this just coming out. The Hayward Field Welcome Party going to be September 23rd in conjunction with the Bill Dellinger Invitational on Friday, September 23rd. Oregon Cross Country and Track and Field team will host the Hayward Field Welcome Party that evening. Begins at 6:30. Fans can enter through the southeast gates. The event is free to the public. The evening will include a welcome from new head coach Jerry Schumacher, as well as a movie on the experience board at Hayward Field. Fans can bring blankets they can watch from the infield, and that's pretty cool. More details, goducks.com, but that's just coming out this afternoon. Love it.
Interesting.
I'll be there. No, I won't. We'll be in Pullman.
No, yeah, we'll be in Pullman. Okay, missed it again.
Scott's going to be there. Good.
All
Scott
right.
will be there.
Get us some video.
Scott will be there. I'm glad to hear that. All right, we have one more game to pick.
Boy, it's a good one, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3.5-point dog.
Back in time.
It's a big game for the Huskies.
It is.
Oh, it's huge.
In their effort to turn things around.
Yeah.
4:30, ABC. Number 11, Michigan State 2-0. Washington 2-0. 60 degrees, partly cloudy at kickoff.
Perfect game conditions in Seattle. Quarterback Michael Penix Jr. is leading the Pac-12 in passing, 341 yards a game, and they can run the ball a little bit. Their defense, I don't know about that yet. It's still too early in the season. But Michigan State has not won a road game at the Pac-12 school since 1957. That
Wait,
should
say
tell
that
you
again?
something. Michigan State has not won a road game at a Pac-12 school since 1957. Well, they can't play on the West Coast. Okay, so, yeah, Huskies. I mean, that stat alone tells me the Huskies will win.
What a game when Michigan State was at Autzen. That was what we did for Throwback Thursday.
Yeah.
This week.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know,
and they were heavily favored.
Close second, I want to say, in Scott's selection of our Throwback Thursday that you saw on the Oregon football social media channels was that 1990 game. But I had a feeling you'd do that on the pregame, so it worked out.
Yeah.
That's good. Anyway.
But you're right about that Michigan State game that was here.
Oh, my gosh.
And, you know.
Sports Illustrated cover.
Yeah, Marcus's Heisman moment, frankly, that really one huge play, a flip forward to Royce Freeman, to me was the beginning of the great season and him obviously going that direction. But anyhow, Washington, Michigan State, you know, I don't think Michigan State's as good as they were last year. Something just tells me that. And travel to the West Coast has not been good to them over time. I think Penix is not going to be bothered whatsoever by Michigan State. He played against them at least a couple of times in the Big Ten Conference. One of them was a victory, a shutout victory. And the other one was close. He had offensive success against Michigan State, even when some of those teams were decent at Indiana. I'm not happy about this, but I'm picking the Huskies. I'm not happy about it.
You picked the Huskies too?
Yeah, I'm picking the Huskies.
I'd like to defer.
I don't think he can. I'm just looking at the rules here. Nope. The guy who's leading can defer, but no, the guy sitting next to the guy who's leading cannot defer. It says it right here.
Well, whether he's sitting next to you or not, he can't. I mean, let alone he's in third.
Joey, that's smart that you want to defer because I know my pick's not going to be right on a game like this.
And you're not going to be happy about it?
I'm not going to be happy about it.
Okay, so now you know.
I might have to. No, I'm not doing this favor to Joe. He's got to go.
He's trying to make up the difference right now. That's all he's thinking about.
I did not know that stat about them
not winning
since 1957.
It's in their head.
How many games does that include?
Boy, that I did not research.
Like, have they only come to the West Coast like 3 times?
Well,
You know what?
It says against Pac-12 school, so it could include. Yeah.
So this to me is like I am so thrilled that this is the 4:30 ABC game because I think it's a great opportunity for the Pac-12. I love that it's kind of a Rose Bowl-esque matchup in Seattle. I was surprised that odds makers have Washington as a 3-point favorite. That surprised me. I thought that Michigan State would be the overwhelming favorite, which does tell me exactly what Jorgie was saying, that I think maybe Michigan State's a little overrated. They haven't really played anybody. They beat Akron 52-0 last week. Washington's not Akron. I'm going to pick Michigan State because I feel like it's an opportunity to jump somebody.
But if we would have picked, then he would go the other way. We know that. Okay.
Yeah, I would have.
Yeah.
I really would have done
that. It is tails.
Michigan State. Let's go
Michigan
Sparty.
State.
Wow. I can't believe I'm going to take the Beavers and the Huskies
in the same week.
Somebody's got to fire me from this job. I'm serious. Yeah. I don't have anything else to say. Washington, I guess.
You see what that seat does to you when you sit over there?
Yeah.
I mean,
Makes you evil.
Yeah, you're on the dark side.
Yeah.
And that's what he's done.
Hey, the dark side worked out well for you last week. You went 9-1.
Yeah, that's true.
So we gotta put.
That's true.
Meanwhile,
you should have just stayed there. I'm going to sit there
Alex
next
is such
week.
a good guy. He's sitting over here at his actual work desk, and he's trying to get work done. And he's like, "Guys, I need my desk." So So where we stand, everybody takes UCLA, Cal, Minnesota, Washington State, Oregon State, Utah, USC, and Arizona State. The pick for North Dakota State, Jorgie and myself and the coin. Jerry and Jordan are going with Arizona. And then Jerry and Jorgie going Washington. Jordan's going Washington. The coin and I going Michigan State.
Room for some movement.
It's a chance for Jerry to open up a 3-game lead on me. But it's also a chance for me to jump Jerry. Jordan's out of the running already. And Jorgie, this is going to be a good week for Jorgie.
Could be.
It's going to be a good week. All right, final keys. BYU, Oregon. Jorgie, what do you think?
Score more points. I mean,
run the ball.
Run the freaking ball. Yeah. Just, I mean, again, I look forward to a wide open offense that we've seen so far, but at the same time, got to be able to run the ball. That means trenches. Win the trenches on both sides of the ball.
I think this could be the statement game for Oregon's veteran offensive line. This is a kind of a prove-it game for that group, right? And, they've been a little banged up on the O-line. We've seen that. Depth has been tested in the first couple weeks. I think this could be the prove-it game on the offensive line.
Well, Wisconsin showed me that when you play against a good team, you can't make mistakes, turn the ball over, because if you do, you let them win it. And that's what they did against Washington State. So, Oregon, take care of the ball. Do not give them more opportunities.
Jordan, what do you got? Anything?
Big plays offensively, preventing big plays defensively. I think that's what it comes down to. Who has more explosive plays?
Jordan will be back on the sideline tomorrow. He will not be running the clock. Stimson makes an appearance. Go Ducks. Great show, everybody. Sylvan Ridge picks. See you at Autzen tomorrow.
Meet Ed, movie buff, animal lover, safe driver.
5 years of driving an ambulance teaches you a thing or two. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. When I see a car trying to rush past a turning bus, I get concerned. You see, when big vehicles turn right, they have to swing wide to make the turn. And that's a lesson you don't want to learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait.
It's our roads. It's our safety. Visit www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
I've been driving trucks for a long time, and safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.